Hello and welcome to Simple English Talk, the place where we help you learn English naturally while inspiring your mind and heart. Today, I'm going to share with you a full daily English routine that you can follow from morning to night to improve your English faster than ever. This routine is designed to guide you step by step through listening, practicing, reflecting, expressing, and closing your day in a way that connects English to your life, your emotions, and your growth. By the end of this video, you will have a complete framework to make English a natural part of every day, while also building confidence, discipline, and motivation. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our lessons and motivational tips. Let's begin this journey together and make every day a step closer to fluency. Section 1. Morning Awakening. The morning is not only the beginning of a new day, it is the opening of possibility, a chance to shape who you are and how you live. When the first light of dawn enters your room, it is also entering your mind. It is in this silence, when the world has not yet pulled you into noise, that learning can begin in the most natural way. This is the moment to bring English into your life gently, without pressure, without expectation, like a quiet companion guiding you toward growth. Imagine waking up, and instead of rushing to social media or checking messages, you choose stillness. You sit up, stretch, breathe, and then place your earphones in. You press play on a short English podcast, or perhaps a calm story that carries simple sentences. At this time of the morning, your brain is not distracted, not yet full of the demands of the day. It listens with openness. Even if you do not understand every word, even if some phrases feel distant, do not fight it. Let the sound flow over you, like the warmth of sunlight resting on your face. Listening is the first gift of the day. There is a reason children learn language by listening before speaking. Their small ears absorb rhythm, tone, and melody long before they understand meaning. You can return to this natural method. If you listen every morning, you are training your brain to recognize English as something familiar, something close, something that belongs to you. The sound becomes part of your daily rhythm, as normal as brushing your teeth or drinking water. After listening, you can take a small step toward active practice. Keep a book near your bed, not a heavy grammar book, but a simple reader, a collection of short English stories, or even a notebook where you write inspiring sentences you have copied from previous lessons. Read one page slowly. Do not rush. Whisper the words as you read them. Feel the movement of your lips, the music of the language leaving your tongue. These small whispers are like seeds. Alone, they seem small and powerless, but when planted daily, they grow into something unshakable. Some mornings you may feel tired. Some mornings your motivation may seem weaker. But discipline is not about feeling ready every day. It is about acting even when you do not feel ready. If you remind yourself, I will give just 5 minutes to English this morning, you will be surprised at how often those 5 minutes turn into 10 and 10 into 20. The key is consistency, not speed. Language grows in the soil of patience. Create a ritual that makes this learning moment beautiful. Perhaps you light a candle, make a cup of tea, or sit by the window where the morning sun enters. Connect English not to pressure, but to peace. The more peaceful it feels, the more your heart will want to return to it every morning. You are not forcing yourself. You are creating a sanctuary where growth happens naturally. Write down one sentence each morning. It could be something you heard in the podcast or read in your story. Repeat it aloud 3 times, as if you are carving it into your memory. Carry that sentence with you through the day. Reflect on its meaning, and when the right moment comes, try to use it. This practice transforms the language from something abstract into something alive. Morning is not only about learning English. It is about shaping your identity as someone who is committed to growth. When you begin your day with English, you are telling yourself, I am serious about this journey. I am ready to change. And this decision, repeated every morning, becomes stronger than motivation. It becomes who you are. As you finish your morning routine, pause for gratitude. Thank yourself for waking up with purpose. Thank the language for opening its doors to you. And thank the day for giving you another chance to grow. Then step forward, carrying the sound of English within you like a quiet melody guiding your steps. Section 2. Midday Practice. By midday, the calm energy of the morning often begins to shift. The world grows louder, tasks demand attention, and your mind is already balancing many responsibilities. It is in this space, busy, sometimes stressful, always moving, that many learners believe they no longer have time for English. But here lies the truth. Midday is full of hidden moments, small windows of opportunity that, when used with intention, can transform your learning. Think about how many short breaks exist in your day. Waiting for lunch to arrive, standing in line at the store, walking from one place to another, or even sitting quietly at your desk for a few minutes. Most people use these moments to scroll aimlessly on their phones or fill the silence with distraction. But if you choose to use even a part of this time for English, you begin to build a powerful routine that fits naturally into your life. One simple practice is carrying a small notebook or using a digital notes app dedicated only to English. In the morning, you may have listened to a podcast or read a story. During midday, open your notebook and write down 1 or 2 words or phrases from that practice. For example, if you encountered the phrase, take responsibility, write it down. Then challenge yourself to build a sentence that connects this phrase to your current life. I must take responsibility for finishing my work today. By connecting new expressions to real experiences, you are no longer memorizing empty words. You are weaving the language into the fabric of your own reality. Midday is also a perfect time for review. Research in learning psychology shows that reviewing information shortly after first encountering it greatly increases memory retention. That means if you heard a new phrase in the morning and review it again during lunch, your brain is more likely to keep it. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, focus on small repetitions spread across the day. This method, known as spaced repetition, is far more effective than long, stressful study sessions. Another powerful midday habit is speaking short sentences aloud. You may not have time for a full conversation, but you can still give your voice practice. Imagine you are walking to a meeting or waiting for your meal. Whisper quietly to yourself in English, I am going to eat lunch now, or the weather feels warm today. These simple sentences may sound basic, but they are the foundation of fluency. By practicing them daily, your mouth begins to form the words more naturally, and your confidence grows. You can also use midday for active listening in short bursts. While eating, instead of scrolling through random videos, listen to a 3-minute English clip. It could be a motivational speech, a short story, or even the news. Focus on catching the main idea rather than every single word. Ask yourself, what is the central message? Summarize it in your notebook with 1 or 2 sentences. This habit not only improves listening skills but also strengthens your ability to think in English. If you have colleagues or friends who also want to improve their English, lunchtime can become a chance for shared practice. Even 5 minutes of casual English conversation can be powerful. You might discuss what you ate, what plans you have for the evening, or something simple about your work. It does not have to be perfect or complicated. What matters is the courage to try, the willingness to use English in real human interaction. And if you are alone, do not underestimate the power of imagination. Imagine you are explaining your meal to a friend. I am eating rice and vegetables today. Or imagine you are telling someone how your morning went. This morning, I listened to a short podcast. It was about building good habits. These imagined conversations train your mind to think in English even when you are by yourself. Midday practice is not about heavy study. It is about weaving English naturally into the rhythm of your day. By using short breaks wisely, reviewing what you learned in the morning, speaking aloud, and connecting new words to your life, you build a living relationship with the language. Every small effort compounds. What seems like just 5 minutes of practice adds up to hours over the course of a week, and those hours turn into transformation. When the afternoon arrives, look back at your midday choices. Did you carry English with you, or did you leave it behind? Every choice shapes your growth. By choosing to bring English into your lunch break, your short walks, and your quiet pauses, you are reminding yourself that learning is not limited to classrooms or study sessions. It is alive, it is present, and it belongs in every corner of your day. Section 3. Afternoon Reflection. The afternoon is a unique time of day. The energy of the morning has passed, and the rush of midday has slowed. For many, this is the moment when tiredness begins to settle in, when the body feels heavy and the mind searches for rest. But it is also in this quiet heaviness that the soul becomes ready for reflection. If the morning is for planting seeds and midday is for practicing movement, then the afternoon is for watering those seeds with deeper meaning. In this part of the day, instead of chasing speed, you should embrace slowness. Find a quiet corner, even if it is only for 10 minutes. Open a book, an article, or a piece of writing in English that carries not just information, but wisdom. It could be a short story, a motivational passage, or even a poem. What matters is not the number of words you read, but the way you read them. Let each line breathe. Allow the rhythm of the sentences to enter your mind, and instead of rushing to understand, ask yourself, what is this text really saying? What truth does it hold, not only for the language, but for life itself? For example, if you read the sentence, success is built on small daily actions, pause and let it echo within you. Reflect. What daily actions am I building? How can I use this thought not only in English, but in my personal journey? In this way, English becomes more than vocabulary and grammar. It becomes a mirror that reflects your own life, your struggles, and your hopes. This reflective practice is powerful because memory is deeply connected to emotion. When you simply memorize a word, it may vanish within days. But when a word is tied to a personal feeling, when it resonates with your heart, it roots itself in your memory. Reading with reflection turns English into an emotional experience. It transforms the language from something foreign into something intimate, something that speaks directly to who you are. The afternoon is also a good time to journal. Take the text you read and write a few lines in response. It does not need to be perfect, it only needs to be honest. If you read about courage, write, "Today I felt courage when I spoke to someone in English, even though I was afraid." If you read about patience, write, "I am learning that patience is also part of language learning." These small reflections create a dialogue between you and the language. You are not only receiving words, but also giving something back. You might also close your eyes and repeat a sentence you loved from your reading. Whisper it slowly, like a prayer, letting each word sink into you. For example, I am capable of growth every day. Feel the weight of each word as it passes through your lips. The more you repeat, the more natural it becomes, not just in sound, but in belief. In this way, English does not only train your tongue, it reshapes your inner voice. Sometimes you may feel too tired to read or write. On such days, you can still practice afternoon reflection by simply listening. Put on a calm English audio, a story, a piece of wisdom, or even a short guided meditation. Close your eyes and allow the words to flow through you. Do not force meaning. Let the meaning arrive naturally. Just as rivers carve valleys over time, repeated listening in moments of stillness carves understanding deep within your mind. Reflection is not about speed or quantity, it is about depth. Even 10 minutes of true reflection in English is worth more than an hour of shallow reading. When you connect the language to your emotions, you carry it with you, not just in your memory, but in your spirit. This is what transforms English into a companion rather than a subject. As the sun begins to lower in the sky and the light softens, let your heart soften too. Reflect on what you have learned so far today. From the morning listening to the midday practice, what has stayed with you? Which words still echo? Which sentences still carry power? Hold on to them as treasures. They are not just language lessons. They are life lessons dressed in English words. The afternoon reminds us that learning is not only about effort, but also about stillness. It is about allowing knowledge to settle, to breathe, and to sink deeper than the surface. In this meditative space, you are not simply a student. You are a seeker, and English is one of the tools guiding you on your path of growth. Section 4. Evening Expression. The evening is not the end of your day. It is the moment of transformation. The morning filled you with sound, the midday gave you practice, and the afternoon allowed reflection. Now, as the sun lowers and the world begins to quiet, it is time for you to give something back to the language. This is the hour of expression, the moment when you stop being only a listener or a reader and become a speaker, a writer, and a creator of English. Too many learners hide in silence, waiting until they feel ready. They tell themselves, "I will speak when I know more words," or "I will write when my grammar is perfect." But this waiting is a trap. If you wait for perfection, you will wait forever. The only way to grow is to express yourself exactly where you are, with the words you already know, even if they feel small or broken. Your courage to speak now is more powerful than your fear of mistakes. Begin by speaking about your day. Stand in front of a mirror or sit alone in your room and imagine you are telling a friend what happened. Say it in English. This morning, I listened to a podcast. At lunch, I wrote down 2 new words. In the afternoon, I read a story and felt inspired. Do not worry about the grammar. Do not worry if you repeat yourself. What matters is that you are using your voice. Every time your tongue moves to form English words, you are training your muscles, building fluency step by step. Recording your voice is another powerful evening practice. Take your phone, press record, and speak freely for 2 or 3 minutes. Talk about your thoughts, your feelings, or even your dreams for the future. When you listen back, you may notice mistakes or pauses. Do not let this discourage you. Instead, let it inspire you. These recordings are proof that you are alive in the language, proof that you are building a bridge between your thoughts and your voice. And months later, when you compare your recordings, you will see with your own ears how much you have grown. Writing is another form of expression you should embrace. Keep a journal in English where every evening you write at least a few sentences. Write about your emotions, your victories, your challenges. Write about the lessons you learned, not only in English, but in life. Today, I learned that small habits create big results. I feel proud that I practiced even when I was tired. Writing is not only about learning vocabulary, it is about learning to organize your thoughts clearly. The more you write, the more disciplined your thinking becomes, and the easier it becomes to speak. If possible, the evening is also a perfect time for real conversation. Find a language partner, join an online group, or even talk with a friend who is also learning. If you cannot find someone, do not underestimate the power of imagination. Pretend you are in a cafe with a friend. Imagine they are asking you questions. Answer them aloud. How was your day? It was good. I learned 2 new words and I read a story. This exercise might feel unusual at first, but it is a powerful way to train your mind to think in English, to respond quickly, and to feel comfortable with dialogue. The evening is when you must push against fear. This is the time to declare boldly, I am not afraid to make mistakes. I am not afraid to sound imperfect. My voice is strong, and every word I speak makes me stronger. Speak with courage, because courage is the fuel of fluency. When you step into expression, you cross the bridge from being a passive learner to an active communicator. That is the true shift that brings speed and progress. Do not end your day in silence. Give your English a voice. Give your heart a voice. Tell the language what you want, what you fear, and what you dream. The more you practice expressing, the closer you come to the moment when English no longer feels foreign, but becomes the natural language of your inner and outer life. The evening is your gift to yourself. It is your declaration of growth. When you speak, when you write, when you dare to express, you are not just learning English. You are shaping a new identity. You are saying, I am someone who can communicate across borders. I am someone who refuses to be silent. I am someone who is alive in this language. And that truth, spoken with courage, has the power to transform not only your English, but your entire life. Section 5. Night closing. Night is the closing of the circle, the soft curtain that falls at the end of the day. The world grows quiet, lights dim, and the rhythm of life slows down. This is the time when your mind begins to release the weight it has carried, and your body prepares for rest. But before you let sleep take you, there is one final gift you can give yourself, ending your day with English in peace and gratitude. Learning does not only happen in active hours, much of it takes place in silence, in the mysterious work of the mind during sleep. What you feed your thoughts before resting stays with you. That is why night is such a sacred opportunity. If you let English be the last sound you hear, the last thought you reflect upon, then while you sleep, your brain continues to organize, repeat, and strengthen what you have learned. This is not magic. It is the science of memory, and you can use it to your advantage. Begin your night closing routine by choosing something soft, something calming in English. It could be a short podcast with a gentle voice, a bedtime story, or even the recording of your own words from earlier in the evening. Let these sounds guide you into relaxation. Do not worry about analyzing or memorizing. At this moment, understanding is not the goal. The goal is comfort, familiarity, and connection. When you fall asleep to English, you are teaching your brain that this language is safe, warm, and natural, a part of your life that belongs in your deepest rhythms. After listening, take a few moments to reflect on your journey through the day. Close your eyes and replay the steps. In the morning, you listened with fresh energy. At midday, you practiced in small pockets of time. In the afternoon, you reflected and found meaning. In the evening, you expressed your voice. Now, at night, you honor it all with gratitude. Whisper to yourself, I did my best today. I gave time to my growth. I am moving forward. These words may seem small, but they carry power. Gratitude is the soil in which consistency grows. You can also use this time for journaling, but unlike the evening, keep it light. Write only 1 or 2 sentences. Today I learned the word courage. Today I spoke for 2 minutes in English. Today I listened before sleep. These small notes are like footprints marking your journey. Later, when you look back, you will see how far you have walked, step by step, night by night. If you feel doubt rising, if your mind tells you that your progress is too slow, that your mistakes are too many, let the night be the place where you silence that voice. Remind yourself that learning a language is not a race but a journey of patience. Every small effort counts. Every small effort matters. The seed does not grow into a tree in one night, but with daily care, it always becomes one. Trust that your care is enough. Trust that tomorrow will bring new growth. Night is also the perfect moment for intention. Before you sleep, set a gentle promise for the next day. Whisper it like a prayer. Tomorrow, I will listen again. Tomorrow, I will practice. Tomorrow, I will express my voice with courage. This intention is like planting tomorrow's seed before you close your eyes tonight. When you wake, you will already know the path you are walking. As you lie down and let the silence of night surround you, remember this truth. Learning English is not only about mastering a language. It is about shaping your life, building discipline, and training your heart to remain open to growth. Each day you follow this rhythm: morning listening, midday practice, afternoon reflection, evening expression, and night closing. You are not only improving your English fast, you are also creating a daily ritual of self-transformation. The night teaches us that endings are also beginnings. The closing of one day is the silent opening of another. As you drift into sleep with English in your ears and gratitude in your heart, you are already preparing the soil for tomorrow's growth. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Rest deeply, knowing that with each sunrise, your voice grows stronger, your confidence deeper, and your journey more alive. Thank you for following along today. Remember, improving your English is not about rushing or forcing yourself. It is about building habits, connecting with the language emotionally, and showing courage every day. Follow this daily routine from morning to night, and little by little, you will notice your listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills growing naturally. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment about your favorite part of the routine. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Simple English Talk to continue your journey of learning English with motivation, reflection, and deep understanding. Every day is a chance to improve, and every day is a chance to grow. See you in the next video.